Big Justice shocked the world by beating Bryce Harper in a home run derby, so today we're going to continue to bring the boom by putting him into MLB The Show. By the end of this video, he is going to be the best player to ever do it, but of course he has a long road to get to the show, starting in the minors. First and foremost though, I have to create him, and after an hour of trying, I think I got pretty close with this, so Big Justice is ready for business. As a 5'12" this might be a little tough for him, but early on we are seeing the power that he displayed against Bryce Harper. It is very important to root for Big Justice in this video, because if I fail to complete even one of these challenges in this video, I have to give away a copy of MLB The Show 25. He is absolutely jacked, and I'm not surprised because of the protein in those Costco chicken bakes. So in the end, batting practice was an absolute breeze. Because Justice is a power hitter, I'm not expecting him to be the best defender, so it's going to be very interesting to see just what his ceiling is, as power is pretty much his only strength. After the first day, he is a projected 17th round draft pick, so even though that is not what he's hoping for, the Yankees are very interested. This is a huge deal because of course Big Justice is one of the biggest Yankees fans in the world, and of course you gotta respect this kid's love for baseball, which is one of the main reasons I'm making this video. At 12 years old, he has already secured a base hit in the draft combine game, but now he's gonna add on to that with a huge double as he rounds the bases, uses his speed, and slides in safely. There is no doubt this performance will help his draft stock, but now the big question is how much. He has gained interest from a few more teams, but most importantly, his draft stock goes from round 17 to round 13, and there's still 2 more games left in this combine for him to show his stuff, as he has to leg this one out, and he's able to do exactly that. Like I've said, speed is not his strong suit, but that double chunk chocolate cookie before the game gave him just enough energy to get there, so now he is definitely in a groove. He may have 5 base hits in 2 games, but above all else, I really want to hit a dinger, and while he's made great contact all game, that is gonna have to wait. After day 3, he is up to round 10, and this is gonna be his last chance to hit a home run. He started the game with a single, and now down 1, he drives this deep into center field, but unfortunately not deep enough, so even though he had a good combine, he does not get the home run he wanted. That certainly would have helped him get drafted, as he's a bit disappointed in his performance, but honestly, it may not matter which round he gets drafted in, as long as it's a good fit, and of course, he is going to the Yankees. At just 12 years old, Big Justice is now in Double-A playing for the Patriots, which is pretty fitting, but there might be a bit of a learning curve as he is only 63 overall. However, the team clearly has plenty of confidence in his abilities, as they're batting him 3rd in the lineup in his debut game, and it's gonna pay off as he launches a huge double. That was the first hit of his career, and now his second is gonna come on his very next at bat, so while his offense is very impressive so far, he also needs to make some plays out in the field. One of the other video goals is to get Big Justice to 99 overall, which will not be possible without upgrading his fielding, so I'm playing all the appearances that I can. However, we are tied up in the 9th inning, and if Big Justice can just get on base here, the Patriots have a chance to win, as he's trying to outleg this one and cannot do it. That was a close play that nearly went the other way, but it ended up costing the Patriots the win. There is no doubt that it sucks to lose your debut, but Big Justice still played pretty well, and while he wants to win everywhere that he goes, it does not necessarily stop him from making the majors, as the third base bag's gonna help him out with a huge bounce, and he's going to 2. Let me just remind you, this is the 2nd game of his career, and he already has 2 doubles, including one of the weirdest plays I have ever seen in my life, as I honestly do not know what to do here. I'm gonna have to figure that out. That error is all my fault, but we still won the game, and as Big Justice stats continue to improve, I'll be assigning him special perks and equipment that improve his overall. If I really wanted to, I could just give him all diamond perks right now and get him up to like 89 overall, but that just doesn't sound very fun, as the grind is definitely going to make his road to the show very exciting, and he drives in his first RBI. It is only the 4th inning, but the Patriots are dominating their competition, and Big Justice is trying to extend their lead even further, going deep to left center field, where unfortunately it's run down. Obviously, keep in mind, we don't know how far he can actually hit it, because Mr. Beast gave him some Little League fences, so it may take a while before he can scale the wall. However, he still continues to improve, and he's starting out his next game with a dynamic challenge. Completing this one would increase his contact and his power, although it doesn't look like he needs more of either, because he just went deep. That is a first pitch no-doubter to open up this game for Big Justice, and I gotta say, I am so sorry for doubting him. It did not take long for the Patriots to receive the boom from Big Justice, and now he's showing off the defense, so even though he is by far the youngest player on this field, he is showing off some swagger, and now he's gonna add to it with his second dinger of the game. Ever since I questioned his power, Big Justice has unleashed the big guns, as his season is off to an excellent start. He was just drafted, but he is already proving to be one of the top prospects in all of baseball, leading the Patriots in pretty much every category. And if he continues to produce, I'm gonna have no choice but to give him a bronze perk or equipment. That is probably the fastest way for Big Justice to reach his goals, so it is no surprise that is the first thing he's working towards in this video. And at least so far, he is on track as he pulls this one into left field. That is beautiful. Big Justice has enough speed to get in there safe. He puts together another great performance as the Patriots win again, and I don't think it's crazy to suggest he could be at AAA before the All-Star break, especially if he's pulling nukes the other way. Right now, the kid simply cannot be stopped, as it feels like he is single-handedly winning this team tons of games. Hitting a double would give him another dynamic challenge, and while he hits this into right field, it is gonna be cut off, so he misses an upgrade while the Patriots take an L. I think the best thing about the Yankees organization for Big Justice is while they're a contender, their first base situation is actually really bad, so there might be the chance to advance a little faster than normal. Big Justice's development is definitely on a fast track, as he's already up 2 overall in his first month, and now leading by 1 in our next series, he goes the other way straight into the gap for an easy double that drives in another RBI. That great play earns him another dynamic challenge, and you better believe Big Justice is going for another double, but instead he hits this one very well, and he's gonna do even better. From the first time I saw this guy eat a Costco chicken bake, I knew he was built different, but I did not expect this against AA competition, as these pitchers do not know how to approach him, and that is child abuse. That was a Wendy's 4-for-4 showing from Big Justice, who did win player of the game, as through his first 69 at-bats, the 12-year-old is now leading all of AA in home runs and RBIs. Now that he's 65 overall, I think he's done more than enough to earn his first perk, but of course we're gonna start small in the bronze section, giving him contact 1. The last thing that Big Justice needed was to get more power, and I feel like I just gave Thanos another Infinity Stone, but at least he's still flying out at the track, because that just shows us that he is still far away from reaching his full potential. To get us to 99 overall, we need to upgrade our skill set, and earning program stars through dynamic challenges is the fastest way to do that, although we do not complete this one. Big Justice has been so efficient, except for when it's come to dynamic challenges, so that really needs to change as he drives in 2 more runs, but we still need stars to get to the silver skill set, and of course this challenge gives us none. That is kinda disappointing, but we could still use the upgrades as we hit this one into left field, although I don't think he's gonna make it to second. He fails the challenge, so that game didn't do much for his stats, and right now I'm not sure what overall it's gonna take to get Big Justice to AAA, let alone to the MLB. The Patriots are also in danger of losing their first series to Altoona, but we're starting this game with a dynamic challenge, and of course they hit him. That is the cheapest way to lose a challenge, as we miss out on the program stars, and they don't even give us another chance. And while Big Justice is already good, a skill set upgrade would take him to the next level. Here's his big chance to earn those program stars back, but for whatever reason, it feels doubles have not been super easy to come by, as this will indeed drop right in front of the left fielder, but we get bailed out with the throw to home plate as Justice is able to get to second. That was a very important challenge, but unfortunately the game did not count that as a double, but instead as a single because it was the fielder's choice. I've already earned the silver power skill set from previous Road to the Shows, but we need those program stars to unlock the gold one, so that is just another reason to continue dominating in AA. However, while his batting average is over 340, it's been a while since he hit a dinger, so we need to stay focused, and maybe this challenge is exactly what we need. At the beginning of the year, this exact challenge resulted in our first no doubt home run, and while this result is not nearly as cool, Big Justice is gonna complete the challenge with his first ever triple. Given that speed is not his game, I am not expecting many of those triples, and more of these as we finally hit another dinger, and after a while, it certainly feels good to pull that one oppo taco. After a few quiet games, Big Justice has absolutely gotten his aura back, as he helped his offense bounce back with a huge win. Our organization made a huge move to bring Anthony Rizzo down to AAA and bring up Ben Rice, who is the guy we're chasing after, and looking at his stats, I don't see any reason to believe that Big Justice isn't already a better player. Some people could make the strong argument that it's only because he's 12 years old, but just look at those biceps. As he continues to show, he is built different, and right on cue, that's a no-doubter. He is literally half the size of his teammates, but it does not matter, because there is no reason he doesn't at at least deserve a shot at AAA over Anthony Rizzo. He is well on his way to earning the AA triple crown with 3 more home runs and about 12 more RBIs than anybody else in the league. And as a reward for another great month at AA, he went out to Costco and bought himself a nice pair of batting gloves. There's also a chance to earn more upgrades as we're getting double points for our next few games, and this may be exactly what he needs to officially become the best first baseman in the organization and get to AAA. They're already starting us strong with a dynamic challenge, so we have a huge chance to really stack some points, but we hit it straight to their shortstop. We continue to miss out on program stars when we truly need them the most, and I have no idea how that one dropped, as we managed to get very lucky on a blooper, but this time Big Justice is pulling this into left field where it drops in for extra bases. He just needs 1 more overall, and this certainly helps. But before we can even play the next game, our manager is calling us into his office, telling us we've been called up to AAA. We are 1 step away from the majors after a very quick 2 months in AA, and with the way Ben Rice is playing at the show, our opportunity could come sooner rather than later. It is time for Big Justice to make his AAA debut, and he's already starting out with a single, but our team could not score a single run. I'm definitely concerned with this team's lack of offense, but at least Big Justice comes through in the 6th inning as he delivers his first RBI double at the AAA level, and this could be another one, but it is caught. That is unfortunate, even though it was a sacrifice fly, because we are so close to the majors and need as many RBIs as we can get, and his first home run will certainly help. It only took 3 games for him to go deep, and just to make things sweeter, he hit that one off of an MLB level pitcher in John Means. The Rail Riders have not won since Big Justice got here, and that is just another reason for him to get to the majors as fast as possible as he goes deep against Tyler Wells. He continues to perform against good pitchers, and all I can say is the Yankees better be taking notice because their first base situation is not good. Ben Rice may be up to 68 overall, but he's batting 174 with the Yankees while Big Justice is tearing it up at AAA, so I have no doubt he's going to keep improving and eventually earn his opportunity, especially when he's launching home runs like this. So far, he's hit a dinger in every single series at AAA, and his whole team is playing better as a result. He has a 9-game hit streak to start his career at AAA and make that 10, and if he keeps this up, it is only a matter of time before the Yankees send over some scouts. Through 12 games, he is batting a blazing 400 with 11 RBIs and 5 home runs, which is almost the best on the team already. And the most impressive thing about those stats is while the league does think he's 18, we all know he's actually 12. I don't know if he had to submit the benchwarmer's birth certificate or what, but for some reason, everyone thinks he's 18, and I'm starting to wonder if beating Bryce Harper was not a fluke. He needs a double right here to get some program stars, but it's not going to happen. So while it might take some time to upgrade us to the diamond skill set, the good news is that Big Justice can continue to earn program stars just by playing well. Once he reaches the majors, Big Justice will be upgraded to a silver skill set along with earning some more perks to help his overall, because we're definitely going to need those upgrades for goals later in the video, such as winning a triple crown and the MVP. It's the start of July, and right now my goal is to get called up by the All-Star break, and I know that's ambitious, but there's no reason for Big Justice to be held back any longer. He belongs in the Big Apple, and he is trying to show it as he adds to his team lead in home runs. I'm not sure what the Yankees are waiting for, as Big Justice does not need to prove anything else, and after 2 more series, I am shocked that he has not been called up yet. We have reached the All-Star game where Big Justice is up to 69 overall, and despite only playing in 38 games, he leads his team in home runs and is second for RBIs. Looking at all these stats, I am so confused why he is not in New York, but checking out the roster, it makes a little bit more sense because they traded for Yandy Diaz. Right after he reached the top of the organization, he now has more competition, and while Yandy's not the best player in the world, he's certainly a quality major league starter, so we're gonna need to upgrade our perks just a little bit more if we want to contend. I started out upgrading his contact 1 to contact 2, but I'm also equipping power 2, and I'm also decking him out with a little bit more equipment to give him a better chance. He is still 69 overall, but remember that does not factor in the boost from equipment, so it's fair to say that Costco really came through with the endorsement deal as Big Justice is trying to start his second half strong, but comes up short. That was nearly a first inning dinger, but at least down 4-0, he's gonna hit a double, and our team is quickly stormed back to tie this game up in the 6th. However, Buffalo would take the lead shortly after, and they just hit Big Justice, and while that loaded the bases, we could not score, so it all comes down to the 9th. This dynamic challenge is asking us to swing for the fences, and while we do complete it, we keep it on the ground and lose the game. There's a good chance Big Justice doesn't even make the majors this season, despite playing playing this well, and the only real reason for this is the Yankees traded for Yandy Diaz to be their new first baseman. At this point, if New York's not going to play Big Justice, they may as well trade him, because in just half a season, he has increased all the way to 70 overall. Big Justice has already made his case at the AAA level, so after this game, I'm just going to sim to the end of the season, because it feels like nothing we do at this point will encourage the Yankees to bring us up. That's at least what I thought, but not even 2 weeks later, our manager calls us into his office and says we're now at the show. We have finally made it to the Yankees, and as you can see, Aaron Judge thinks we are a true threat, and just looking at his face, he is not happy that we're here. We've officially completed our very first video goal, and that also means that it's time to upgrade our skill set, and unlocking a silver skill set also means I'm gonna equip some silver perks. In just a few clicks, Big Justice is already up to 77 overall, which is the exact same rating as Yandy Diaz. Big Justice is making his MLB debut against the Cleveland Guardians, and while he is showing off the power so far, we're down 3-0, and he does not have a hit. It may take a while for him to reach base and adapt to the major league game, but at least he's consistently hitting the ball beyond the infield, and there it is. His first MLB hit was a 9th inning RBI single, and that is a very fun way for him to start his career. However, they did lose his debut, so the Yankees are looking for revenge in their very next game, and Big Justice is going for it all, sending this deep into left center field where it nearly goes over the wall. I really thought that was a home run, but nonetheless, it's his first career double, and now in extra innings, it is still 0-0 where Big Justice is trying to walk it off, but comes up short again. However, this thing is still going in the bottom of the 13th, and while Big Justice gets on base, he doesn't end it, and now we're getting removed from the game, so we have to trust our team, and they win. This one came down to the wire, but the big reason they could win it was Big Justice, who's already making an impact in the first series of his young career. The rest of this season is all about gaining experience so Big Justice can become an all-star next year, and for just a second, I thought he hit his first career home run, but in the 8th inning, he's gonna actually do it. That is number 1 of hopefully many for Big Justice, and Yankee Stadium better be ready to see him bring the boom. New York's new secret weapon helps them win this series, but they're gonna need to win a lot more if they want to win this division. However, we have a great chance to gain on the leading Orioles because we're facing one of the worst teams in baseball, and Big Justice just extended our lead with another homer. He is half the size of Aaron Judge, hitting just as many dingers, so while the Yankees may have lost Juan Soto, they may have already found a way to replace him with another superstar as Big Justice is playing great. However, one of our video goals is to win the MVP, and this might be a little complicated if Aaron Judge is gonna be in contention, but that's still a pretty good problem to have considering he's on our team, which gives us a better chance to win a World Series. The Yankees have not lost a series ever since they brought up Big Justice, and if they can jump the Orioles and make the playoffs, I think they could do some serious damage and maybe even win the World Series this year. Big Justice cannot be stopped, hitting another homer, and I honestly thought it would take a lot longer for him to adjust to MLB pitching. At the start of September, we are only 3.5 games back in this division, and we're setting ourselves up very well to face off against Baltimore in one of the last series of the year. There's a very good chance that series could decide the division as Big Justice goes deep against the Red Sox to the wall where it is caught. He got robbed of another home run, but at least the Yankees got the win, and there is no doubt that Baltimore should be terrified. It is very likely that this series will decide the division winner, so it's not good we're starting out with the double play, and it's still a 1-run game in the 9th. Big Justice could be the final out of this game as I'm trying to check swing, but unfortunately he went around, so in the end, the Orioles are able to survive. We are not going to win many games going 0 for 4, so it is time to lock in, as we start the day off dropping a single into left field, but then hit it right to their left fielder. Somehow a team with Big Justice and Aaron Judge has only scored 1 run in 2 games, and after his second hit of the day, Big Justice gets left on base, but he finally drives in our first run. That was a big play, so I'm really hoping our team comes up big as we sim to the end, and they somehow blew that. New York wasted a 3-hit performance from Big Justice, but at least in the final game of the series, we're up 3-0. Our offense woke up a little too late, so despite winning 101 games, we have to play in the wild card. Nonetheless, this was a great first season for Big Justice, who was only on the Yankees for 37 games, but put up a 986 OPS, which was very much on par with Aaron Judge, who won the MVP. In addition, he unlocked a brand new skill set that I'm gonna equip right before the playoffs, so in just one season, we've gotten Big Justice all the way from 63 to 84 overall. Obviously, that is crazy, but we still haven't even applied all the perks yet, as of course I'm gonna be equipping gold perks for a gold skill set. spot, which will get him all the way up to 88 overall. In his first professional season, he is already a top 5 player on the Yankees, and I have a feeling the Royals do not stand a chance. However, I might have underestimated them, as they're already leading 2-0 in game number 1, and Big Justice flies out deep to center field, but there still might be a chance as we tied it up in the 9th inning, and even though Big Justice grounded out, we take the W. That was definitely not Big Justice's best performance, but with the wild card on the line, he is gonna send this one into the seats. That was the best possible way to bounce back from an 0-4 performance, as we are leading 4-1 and they're throwing at him. After that, things would only get worse for the Royals as our offense really woke up, including Big Justice, who launched his second homer of the day. When it matters the most, the Yankees offense finally unleashes its full potential, so we are moving on to the next round against a very familiar face. I'm definitely a bit nervous considering this team just beat us last week, and if you remember, our offense could not do anything against their rotation, so we need to step it up. To my surprise, we have taken the lead in the 8th inning as Big Justice hits into a double play, but just like in game 1 of the last series, they were able to get the victory without him. While I'm certainly grateful we won the first game, Big Justice needs to bounce back in game 2, because as you can tell by the score, it's going to take a lot more firepower if we want to win this series as Big Justice goes deep again. That was the one positive of what was ultimately a disaster. So this series is tied up at 1 apiece, but the Yankees have the early game 3 lead. That leads to a very timely dynamic challenge for Big Justice, and all he has to do to complete it is advance the runner from first, but that is not going to happen. Then unfortunately, the Orioles came surging back to take the lead, so our playstyle of home run or bust is really hurting this team. However, simming forward, we are celebrating because we apparently got the victory as the MVP Aaron Judge came through with a walk-off 2-run shot. We are now just 1 win away from advancing to the next round, and the crazy thing about that is we got lucky in both of our wins, so it feels like we do not deserve to be here, but after Big Justice hit in the first run, we advanced to the ALCS. Without a doubt, we are the luckiest team in all of baseball for that, and now we're taking on the Tigers. And keep in mind that winning the World Series would cross off another video goal. We are up by 1 run in game 1 of the ALCS, but here's a Big Justice RBI, so I really thought we were gonna win this game, but as you can see, it is not over. After a Big Justice double play, we sim forward and the Tigers win, so maybe that luck against Baltimore is swinging back the other way. However, after hitting Big Justice, it is now 6-1, and even though we swung out of the zone for this one, it's still a sacrifice fly. New York bounces back after blowing the first game of the series, and now that the series is tied, we are looking for more momentum. After Big Justice failed to score Aaron Judge, apparently the Yankees rallied, and we ended up winning game 3 10-1. Now all we need are 2 more victories to advance to the World Series, and the Tigers are facing elimination in game number 6. However, they're leading by 3 runs in the 4th inning, so they might not be done, as their offense exploded and will force game 7. Big Justice's rookie season all comes down to this game as he's trying to turn the double play, but they are going to barely outrun it. That allows Detroit to score the first run of this game, so now New York needs a rally, but Big Justice strikes out looking. Lucky for us though, Aaron Judge would give us the lead, and now Big Justice extends it, so while it definitely wasn't pretty, the Yankees are going to the World Series. We are very lucky to be here, but the Atlanta Braves are going to be a huge challenge, and if we even want a chance to beat them, we need to play a lot better than we just did. Winning a World Series in the very first season of Big Justice's career would complete a very important video goal, and thanks to him, this game is tied up in the 7th inning, but he misses the chance to score another run. Unfortunately, the Braves would rally back and win this game, so it's very clear they're going to be a huge challenge. This is definitely not the situation we want to be in game 2, as we're down by 1 run, and even though we tied it up, Atlanta scored 2 in the 9th. We're in huge trouble if we lose another game, which is exactly why Big Justice is putting the team on his back. That is playoff home run number 6 for the little guy, and as we've seen throughout the season, when he plays well, so does our entire team. That was a big first win to get, but now we have a chance to tie the series in game 4, and our offense is off to an incredible start, leading this game 4-0 early on. Then fortunately for us, that lead would only grow larger as we took down the Braves in dominant fashion. I feel much better now that the series is tied, especially because Big Justice hit another home run, so we're in a very good spot, leading by 2 runs in the 6th inning. Thanks to Big Justice, we secure our 3rd victory in a row, and I can't believe we're in this position after the way this series started, and Big Justice is going to say goodbye. That is a World Series clinching home run for a guy who just got drafted at the beginning of the year, but maybe I spoke too soon, as Atlanta has come back, and you've got gotta be kidding me, Big Justice is on a sick one right now. The Jumbotron says touch 'em all just like Diddy, and now the Yankees are rushing the field because they have won the World Series with a 4-game win streak to end it off. In the first year of Big Justice's career, we've already completed 2 video goals, making the majors, and winning the World Series. And if we can find a way to get this diamond skill set, the rest of them might come pretty easy. Now that we're at the end of the year, I'm gonna give him the best equipment that I possibly can, because getting Big Justice to 99 overall will make all these challenges so much easier as he starts his season strong. This could be the start of the Big Justice MVP campaign, but if he's gonna win it, he needs to dethrone his own teammate Aaron Judge, and this 2-homer game certainly says that he's serious. Having 2 players competing for the MVP is certainly a good problem for any team to have, as in the very next game, Big Justice goes deep again, as he is on fire to start this year, along with the rest of the Yankees offense. We have won every single series of the year, including this one against Arizona, as Big Justice drives in another run, as New York secures a huge sweep. It may only take one amazing year for Big Justice to complete every single remaining challenge, but of course that is going to be easier said than done, because one of our goals is to win a triple crown, which is very rare. It's also a bit more of a challenge considering that Aaron Judge is sitting right in front of us in the lineup, and while we're very close to being on his level, we're not quite there yet. Here's a big opportunity against San Diego, and for the first time in a few games, Big Justice goes deep. Get out the rye bread and the mustard, it is grand salami time, and what a play at the perfect time, as he's not currently in the MVP conversation, but that grand slam, along with another one a few games later, will certainly get him there. Big Justice went on a huge hot streak after a 2 grand slam performance and has a 1389 OPS at the end of the first month, and if the season ended today, he would win not only the MVP, but also the Triple Crown. As the season goes on, I'm very curious to see where his batting average goes, because of course as a power hitter, batting average is going to be the biggest concern when it comes to him winning the Triple Crown. However, getting on base has not been a problem so far this season, as he's hitting over 400, and here's a home run against the Marlins. That was a beautiful no-doubter into left field, and a great way to secure a victory, as he was just a triple away from the cycle. Performances like that are exactly why I'm optimistic he can win the batting title, but of course there's no reason this hot streak is gonna sustain itself through the entire season. There is so much pressure on Big Justice to keep mashing, as Gunnar Henderson is right on his tail for the batting title, but here's a huge dinger, as he continues one of the most impressive starts to the season I've ever seen, but he could definitely use some more speed. Right now, that is definitely his biggest weakness, as after boost from equipment, it's sitting at 68, so infield singles are not possible right now, but it probably doesn't matter when he has a 1400 OPS. Our division rival, Gunnar Henderson, is the runner-up for both MVP and the batting title, so it's very fitting that our next series is against Baltimore. Coming into this series, there is no question they're looking for revenge from the playoffs, but right now we are destroying them, and Big Justice goes deep. In Game 1, Justice was 3 for 4 with a bomb and 2 singles, which is a very impressive development since so much of last year he was a home run or strikeout type of player. Now he has a big chance, down 1 with the bases loaded, but he pops it up in the infield, and Baltimore would go on to win this game. It is no coincidence that the Yankees offense does not perform nearly as well when Big Justice has a down game, but now in Game 4, he has a big-time boss challenge. All he has to do to complete it is advance a runner, so we're going to be very patient and wait for a pitch, and that was certainly it. That's another Big Justice home run. He read the inside breaking ball and belted it to left field, and just like in the playoffs, the Yankees won the series 3-1. With Big Justice playing this well, I'm going to simulate a little bit more than usual, but it's still very important to play some games to get closer and closer to that diamond skill set. Getting to diamond plays a very important part in getting Big Justice to 99 overall, which might be the hardest challenge that we have to complete in this video. However, in the chase to pad Big Justice's stats, the Yankees are also winning a ton of games, and they could very well be on their way to repeating as World Series champs. At the start of July, Big Justice is still leading for the MVP and the batting title, although Gunnar Henderson is right on his heels with a 349 average. So while it seems like he should run away with the Triple Crown, Henderson is having an amazing season. It also does not help that in our very next game, we're going up against Tariq Skubal on the mound, and overall, this entire pitching staff has given us problems. This is not a good time for a boss challenge for Big Justice, as in his past few games, he has been unable to find extra bases, but this one landed right on the sweet spot of his bat and is going over the fence. He clutches up with a boss challenge on the line, and even though we're down 2 runs, I really could care less. It should not be a surprise to anybody that Big Justice is an all-star with over 1 million votes, so that completes another challenge. But now that we're at the break, there is another opportunity. We're in the home run derby, starting off against Shohei Ohtani, and of course, he is doing Shohei Ohtani things early on, so I'm definitely a little bit nervous. However, I honestly thought he was going to do way better than he did, and we just started out with a huge 478-foot nuke. And of course, thanks to Mr. Beast, Big Justice already has plenty of home run derby experience. Also, huge shout out to our pitcher, who's doing an amazing job, as we are hitting plenty of nukes without even moving the PCI. At just 13 years old, Big Justice is about to take down Shohei Ohtani in the derby without using a single timeout, as it is all tied up, and here is his final swing. That's going out of the park. I'm very surprised that was not more challenging, as his next opponent, Austin Riley, hit 16 dingers. Once again though, it looks like this is going to be light work for Big Justice, as he's already at 5 dingers and there's still over 3 minutes left on the clock. Right now this man is in his element, as he is out of energy but is still blasting nukes of 460 feet, and just like in round 1, he beats his opponent with plenty of time without using a single timeout. We're moving on to the final round, where we're taking on our very own teammate Aaron Judge, and because he only put up 17 bombs, I feel like we have this in the bag. There is no way that my own teammate's gonna make me give away a copy of MLB The Show 25, as Big Justice is locked in, hitting his 11th bomb with 1:40 left. This was definitely not Big Justice's best round, but he still gets the job done, and completed our 4th challenge of the video. Now all he has to do is reach 99 overall, win the MVP, and win the Triple Crown, and I really think he's on pace to do 2 of those things this year. But if we're gonna max out his overall this season, we need to grind for a diamond skill set, and this is a great start coming out of the break. That is dinger number 47 for Big Justice, and at this point, every single one matters for the program stars. The good news is that we're actually a lot closer to the upgrade than I realized, and there's a very good chance we get there by the middle of August. The big thing to remember though is our race for batting title is still very close between us and Gunnar Henderson, so the Triple Crown is far from guaranteed. But on another note, Big Justice just scaled the Green Monster. That is very impressive, especially considering that it happened against Garrett Crochet, and it also helps that every single extra base hit Big Justice gets counts towards missions to unlock more program stars. That series alone got us so close to Diamond, and this series against the Rangers at the start of August could be our chance to finally earn it. We added another extra base hit in a Game 1 victory, so now we just need 2 more hits if we want to complete a mission, and there's one of them. One more hit could be the key to completing the rest of the video's challenges, and there it is. Big Justice sneaks it through. While that does get him the program stars he needs, it's also a very good multi-hit performance, as he is still fighting with Gunnar Henderson for the batting title. We have finally unlocked the Diamond skill set, which will increase our overall even more, and since we have plenty of time left in the year, this could be the secret weapon that gets us the Triple Crown. Of course, according to my house rules, now that we're on a Diamond skill set, we can use Diamond perks as well, but as you can see, we still have some work to do because Big Justice is only 96 overall. This might sound crazy, but now that we have a Diamond skill set, I'm just gonna simulate to the end of the season, and along the way, I'm gonna use the mini games to increase his overall. However, at the end of every single month, our manager gives us double points, so we can get in some nice gains to hopefully reach 99 overall. However, no matter how many challenges we complete, we have to defend our World Series title, and just considering how much Big Justice has improved, I really think we can do some great damage. This series against the Dodgers could be a World Series preview, which is very fitting considering that was the matchup in real life. Once again, New York won their division with a 95 win season, but before we get to the playoffs, we need to check out awards, where we see that Big Justice won the MVP, securing another challenge, but now the big question is, did he win the Triple Crown? There's no doubt he led the league in home runs and RBIs, but now scrolling over to batting title, we see that he obliterated the competition, so there's officially just one more video goal to get done. Before we can get there though, it is time for the Yankees to defend their World Series title as Big Justice drives in the first run, and while the Mariners have a very good pitching staff, I don't know if it's good enough to contain Justice and Aaron Judge. However, there's a great chance they prove me wrong, as we're tied up in the 8th inning, but here comes Big Justice, who came through with a huge double, but of course the Yankees did not score him. All we can do now is leave this one in the hands of the sim gods, and you've got to be kidding me. I was definitely not expecting a 13-inning affair, but Big Justice, going the other way, will end this with a walk-off dinger. Out of all the big plays in his career, career, that might be the biggest so far, as he goes Oppo Taco to the second deck to end it. That is a demoralizing loss for Seattle, who doesn't put up a fight. So we're moving on to the ALCS, where we're taking on a pretty solid Kansas City team. However, we stayed hot, winning our first game, so we are already well on our way to advancing to the World Series. Big Justice scored the first run, but it's still anybody's game in the fourth, as we have a true pitcher's duel on our hands, but maybe not for long, as Justice goes deep to center field, where it is caught. He was just inches away from putting this one on ice, but it didn't matter anyways, as Garrett Cole pitched a 9-inning shutout. We have still not lost a game in the postseason, and there's a very good chance that Big Justice could be the playoff MVP. Even though he didn't get on base in Game 4, the Royals never stood a chance against this loaded Yankee team, as they have won the American League 2 seasons in a row. All that's left is to go to the World Series, where a particular Phillies player wants his revenge. This entire video was sparked by the fact that Bryce Harper got beat in a home run derby by a kid whose diet only consists of chicken bakes from Costco, but I don't think he had any idea that he would see that same kid in the World Series 2 years later. Unfortunately for Philadelphia, Big Justice and the Yankees are trying to run away with this victory, and the man himself may have just sealed it. New York makes a statement in the first game, but the most impressive thing about all this is they're still undefeated in the playoffs. Now in Game 2, Big Justice continues to be nightmare fuel, driving in 2 runs in the first inning, and now hitting another dinger. Right now, he is 98 overall and is so close to hitting 99, but another game like that will definitely get him there. We have a chance to beat every single challenge in the World Series, and there we go, Big Justice. That is another dinger. If I'm not mistaken, he has hit one in every single game of the World Series, so just like in the Mr. Beast video, he is maxing out the boom meter against Bryce Harper, and you've got to be kidding me. Keep in mind that after the equipment boost, he has like 115 power, so this is just not fair, as I'm pretty sure he could just sit on the bench for the rest of the World Series and still win the World Series MVP. The Yankees are 1 win away from a perfect postseason, and after that last game, Big Justice is officially up to 99 overall. That means that simulating as the World Series champs is the only thing left to do, and simulating ahead, we did exactly that. The New York Yankees are officially a dynasty with Aaron Judge and Big Justice as their star players, and how fitting is it that the Costco kid once again beat Bryce Harper. This video is the peak of off-season boredom, as I'm waiting for the new game to come out, but if you are here and made it all the way to the end of the video, I just want to say that I really appreciate you. If you haven't already done so, please leave a giant boom on that like button, and also subscribe and click right here to see more of my content.